Hello, welcome to Store Stories. Every Friday I'd like to release a video of the weird stuff I've had to deal with working at a grocery store. And it's October, and I want October to be Halloween month, so there'll be a couple stories related to kind of Halloweenish type stuff. I don't want to do too many of those because I do have a considerable playlist, to-do list, but I don't know how much of them is going to be horror themed. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the story. A common frustration I have as front-end supervisor is that I'm often finding myself stuck on a register. And this happened back in 2021, and it was the first week of September. First week of September around here is not only the first week of the month, it's also the week before the fair. So we got people getting ready for the fair and people doing the first of the month kind of rushing things. And people, since it was 2021, people were excited that the fair was opening up again because, well, 2020 happened. And it was the middle of the afternoon rush when a lady and her baby came through the self-checkout lane, and the baby was screaming its head off. I get it, baby scream, and it was the kind of screaming that it was recognizable as the little one being a little one screaming his head off. It's just part of that age range. I know literally nothing about someone of this small, but I'm gonna guess that they're screaming and crying because they want to get their lungs stronger. That's the kind of screaming it sounded like they were trying to do. I kind of looked it up to see, like, what's the reason behind the baby screaming like this, and one expert hypothesized that they're screaming because that's how they release their stress.
Oh yes, that super stressful existence of laying there while everybody takes care of you.
I'm going to also guess that there might be growing pains. They're going through quite a bit of growth spurts at that age, and there's also the fact that every single thing around them is new and scary. Imagine an existence where every single thing is the strongest thing you've ever felt in your entire life, and you're surrounded by beings that are 4 or 5 times your size, and all of them are yelling and screaming at each other, and you don't even know what language is, much less what they're saying to each other. And there's a whole bunch of bings and dings and noises and loud sounds all around you. So yeah, crying, annoying, but understandable. What wasn't understandable was a loud blah, blah, blah noise that started coming up. Needless to say, the random blah noises wasn't helping the child quit crying any. Really wasn't making them any quieter. And at the time, I was on what was register 4 at the time, because they recently renumbered the register, so it's now register 10. At the time, we had two. The way our front end is, there's the self-checkout lanes, what were 2 express lanes that we've never opened because we never had cashiers for them. And so you had a cashier on register 3 and me as a supervisor on register 4. So I'm on register 4 hearing babies screaming and blah, 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 blah. So I'm trying to wrap up this order that I'm running through to see what in the holy hell is going on at self-checkout, because I hear babies screaming and blah, 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 blah. I do have a couple videos planned on screaming babies, but I don't know what the hell this other noise is. And it did take me a couple minutes to get through the other rush of people because, it's first of the month and also the fair crowd coming through. And I finally get over to the self-checkout lane and looking and seeing at the what was going on, did not answer any questions. It really did not explain what the holy hell was going on. The understandable part about it was it was a little baby sitting in a car seat screaming their head off because, that's what babies do. What was not understandable was the grown man dancing in front of the car with his head stuck in the baby seat going blah, 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 blah. This guy is like bleating like a goat into the face of this poor little baby that I'm not even sure is an entire month old. And so I'm just kind of like stuck So I'm stuck there. Like, what do I do? Do I, like, try to get the guy away from what I assumed was his kid? Because this guy is, like, dancing in front of the car. Blah, 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 as the kid is screaming their head off. Dude's scaring the little living hell out of this little baby. Um, in the script, I kept writing scarring.
Probably would have been scarred if they were a bit older.
And I can see the self-checkout attendant. She's kind of stunned there also. Like, she's using all of her self-control not to just run off into the wild with a screaming baby and a bleating man dancing around. It's like some kind of strange ritual. What do we do? We're both kind of stuck there as this guy's doing an imitation of a screaming goat at a screaming baby. But here's the plot twist. That wasn't his baby. A few moments of me staring at the situation of what's going on, trying to figure out what in the holy hell to be doing, because what? A lady comes from the opposite end of the self-checkout, comes over and taps him on the shoulder. Honey, we need to get going. We can't stay here all day. We're ready to, I'm done checking out. We need to get going. Immediately, as soon as she taps him on the shoulder, he stops. Oh, he turns to me. Oh, that's why I hate these self-checkout lanes. That's why we need to have actual people working here. It's like, okay, what? You're bleating in the face of a baby because you hate the self-checkout lanes? What? And as they left, the mother of the baby, who was checking out the entire time with the cart facing, I don't know how to paint a picture of this with words, but she was on one end of the cart, baby's on the other end of the cart, guys blah, 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 in front of the cart, and they're on the other end of the cart. The mother, she finished her order, and she looks at me. I really wish you would keep the strange people away from my baby. I'm completely dumbfounded. She was ringing up her order, completely ignoring the fact that her kid is screaming their head off. I've posted on Facebook more than once that sound of children screeching. Please, parents, can you please do something? I mean, I get that's what they do, but can you, like, pretend like your child exists? More than one parent says that's kind of what they do, and you kind of let them do it. I did not say that very kindly, but I'm sure they feel something for their children. It's just sometimes I guess you have to let your kids scream. I don't have kids, so I don't have the authority to tell people how to raise their children, but I can only assume that if I had a baby that's not even a month old and they're screaming, and someone's response to their screaming was starting to bleat like a goat into their face, I don't think that person would be having a very good time. I don't know. I can't tell parents how to raise their children, but hey, parents, how if that was you in that situation and your child was screaming their head off and someone blah, 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 into their cart seat, what would your reaction be? Would you just wait until the store associate pulled the person away, or would you step up and protect your child? What would you do in that situation? Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and have a nice day.